Thanks for joining me for week 4 of Peaceful Pause. This is Dr. Caroline Peterson. And I was thinking today in my drive to the beach about change. And about how a lot of times we want to superimpose change externally. But how real change has to start first internally. In my 20s, I was an internationalist in Nicaragua, wanting to create the new society based on love and peace and harmony, everybody having their needs met. And as I worked there, I came to realize things weren't working out as I had hoped. And I started to feel very judgy about the way things were going. And I remember I was on Corn Island, and Spirit said to me, the revolution is not outside of you. The revolution is inside. The revolution is within. And something switched in me, and I was like, oh my God, I really had that all wrong. And began this pursuit of exploring the inner self and exploring how to become a change force in the world through changing who I am and what I think and how I relate to people. And that is a much greater challenge than trying to get water to people or what have you. So thank you for rising to the challenge with me and this pursuit of becoming the change by becoming different people. In that way, we really change the world.
God's will for my life and my own will are not different. They may appear to be different, but that only occurs when your will is not aligned with God's. Your soul will, I should say, is another way of saying God's will. God's will is another way of saying your will. If the will you perceive as yours is not aligned with God's will, it is not your will, because it is not your soul's will. And your soul's will is your will. Today, slow down and listen for guidance. Do what is right because it is right. And right feels good. How does right feel good? Right feels like alignment with something larger than yourself. Right feels like you know the secret, even if you don't. Right feels edifying. It doesn't hurt you or others. Right is not dogmatic. Right is flexible, loving, and kind. Right is not about avoiding what is difficult. Right is about feeling in harmony with the rhythm of the universe. Right is about going on for the ride of your life. A ride where you are pedaling and only helping to steer. Doing what is right requires action. But it is a kind of action that is not deterministic. It is a kind of action that is born of flexibility and humbleness. An action that recognizes it is not all up to you. An action that recognizes you are part of a symphony and need only play your part as well as you are able. Playing your part well requires practice. Practice today, extending grace to yourself and others. Practice peace today. Breathe in 3. Breathe out 7. 6 times a minute. Today is the day for peace. Today is the day for ease. A day of ease is not the same thing as saying an easy day. An easeful day means you flow with the rhythm of the day. Maybe you get a flat tire, or the babysitter doesn't show up. You get a rent increase, or you are left. Maybe your check engine light magically goes off, and the funny noise goes away. Or childcare is spontaneously offered. You get a raise. Or find the love of your life. It doesn't matter. Perceived good or bad, who really knows? Approach each event with reframing, claiming the blessing. Slow down and connect to feel ease. This is the day. Rejoice. All is well. Do not confuse your job with God's job. Your job is to show up, be a good listener, and do your best. Take responsibility for what is yours. Do not take responsibility for what is not yours. That is the trick. That is what you need to learn. You learned half of it. Now you got to learn the other half. When things go well, you say, oh, the body is the healer. When things don't turn out as you wish, you say, what did I do wrong? What am I missing? Where is the hole in my way of thinking? Others have as great of a role in their... Get off your high horse. In getting off your high horse, you might take a tumble. And that's okay. In getting off your high horse, you might break a rib. and that's okay. Get off your high horse so real work can begin. Get off your high horse so miracles can happen. Miracles happen when you open and Spirit works through you. Miracles happen when you are a conduit for Spirit. Be a conduit. Open. Receive. Don't try so hard. Meet people on equal footing. You are not the problem solver. You are the greeter for the problem solver. Get out of the way so the problem solver can get to work. All is well. Do not berate yourself for trying to do a job that is not yours. You are learning. Learning is the point. Once you learn this lesson, you will be happier. Once you learn this lesson, you won't have highs and lows. Once you learn this lesson, your happiness will not be situationally dependent. Once you learn this lesson, you will be free. First, take care of yourself. You cannot take care of others while you are not caring for yourself. Second, ask for guidance. Do not presume you know. Always ask for help. Third, put the patient in the driver's seat of their life. You are the helper at best. Do not be a hindrance. Show up. Show up for what is in front of you. What is in front of you is what is important. What is important is what is in front of you now. Show up for that. And now, again, for that, show up for what is in front of you now, in this moment, as it changes. Show up for what is in front of you now. Ride the waves of your life. All is well. Show up. Don't try to control. Enjoy the ride. Move forward with wonderment and curiosity. Life is a gift. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride of life. Be amazed. Stand in awe. It is a blessing to be alive. Each person you meet is your blessing. Thank them. It is a blessing to be alive. All people you have known and know now are your blessing. Receive their blessing. All is well. Kind people are your blessing. Difficult people are your blessing. Confusing people are your blessing. Receive their blessing. All is well. When you receive the genuine blessing that each person and each circumstance in your life brings, you will recognize that you too are a blessing. Be gentle with yourself today as you come to acknowledge that you too are a blessing. Extend grace to yourself today, just as you extend grace to others. Show up for your life today, just as it is. Show up. Listen. Look. Pray. Give thanks. Give thanks for the wonder of life. Give thanks for everyone who came before and who will come after. Give thanks for everything that is and everything that is not. Give thanks. Give thanks for the past. Give thanks for the present. Give thanks for the future. Give thanks. Do not hesitate. Do not be stingy in your thanks. Give thanks for things that make sense and seem worthy of thanks. Give thanks for things that don't make sense and don't seem worthy of thanks. Give thanks in all things. Give thanks. I am thankful today. I am thankful for my life, the ocean, the waves, the sun. I am thankful for dopamine, for serotonin, epinephrine, and GABA. I am thankful for norepinephrine and glutamate too. I give thanks. I give thanks for cold and wet, for damp and showers. I give thanks. I give thanks for fires and smoke. I give thanks for epidemics and pandemics. I give thanks for people who are like me. I give thanks for people who are unlike me. I give thanks for disruption and peace. I give thanks in all things, always. I give thanks. Become an expert in giving thanks. You become an expert by frequent practice. Do not hold back. Do not set aside time to practice. Practice giving thanks now, and now, and now again. How do I give thanks? You are able to give thanks when you slow down and notice. Hey, it's a rainbow. Look up. Today is the day. Rejoice. Rejoice for what you have today in this moment. You don't know what tomorrow will bring to be thankful for. So give thanks now for what you have and what you don't have, for the way things are and the way things are not. Give thanks now without hesitation. Give thanks now and again and again. Give thanks. You cannot be too thankful. You cannot overdose on thanks. The more you give thanks, the more thanks there is to give. Do it often. Do it well. Give thanks. Give thanks comprehensively. Today is the perfect day to rejoice. Why am I harping on rejoicing? Because you forget. Rejoice because it feels good. Rejoice because it is good. Rejoice because joy changes everything. Rejoice because all is well. Rejoice because you don't need to know and understand everything to have legitimate cause to rejoice. Rejoicing is not based on understanding. Rejoicing is not based on knowing. Rejoice now. Rejoice always. Rejoice in the end. Rejoice in the beginning. They are one. Rejoice. Fear not. Why fear? We fear the things we don't understand or know. Why fear? We fear because we think it is our job to understand and know, and in that way determine what is good or bad, right or wrong. That is not your job. It is not your job to determine. It is your job to rejoice. Fear not. You are not in charge. If you were in charge, there would be something to fear. But thank God, you are not in charge. That is God's job. Your job is to rejoice. So, do your job. Rejoice. Trust God. Trust that God is in control when things make sense. Trust that God is in control when things don't make sense. It is not your job to ask God to behave in certain ways you find acceptable. It is not your job to convince God of right and wrong. Resign from that job immediately. Your job is to rejoice. Rejoice because you are not in charge. Rejoice because there's nothing to fear. Rejoice. You think, if you were in charge, there would be less to fear. Like you fear driving a car less than flying in an airplane. But you are wrong. Your fear is misplaced. Resign immediately from ascertaining what is fearful and what is not. Resign immediately from trying to be in charge. Instead, do the job placed before you. The job placed before you is to rejoice. Rejoice in all things. Rejoice always. Rejoice. I will say it again. I will not give it a break. I will not stop saying it until you do it. Until you be it. Rejoice. I will say it again. Rejoice. I am a broken record. Rejoice. I am committed to hammering this into your head because I know it is the solution. Rejoice in all things. Rejoice always. Accept the solution. Rejoice.
Welcome to week 5 of Peaceful Pause. This is Dr. Caroline Peterson. You know that every morning I come down to the beach and I meditate. I write down the things that I learn, the things that Spirit is telling me for myself, what I need to know, and then I share them with you because I figure that what's good for me is good for everybody else, probably, at least somebody else. I was thinking today about fear. I was swimming in the ocean the other day and a big fin came up, a big dorsal fin came up right beside me. Oh, I was scared. My heart raced. I pulled in my arms and my legs and I tried to get back to shore as soon as I could. And then I thought, what if that was a dolphin? What if the dolphin came to swim with me and I was scared and ran away? And I asked a lady and she said, oh yeah, that's the way dolphins are. They just do that, come up and then go down, and sharks aren't like that at all. They're just on the bottom. That was a dolphin. You ran away from the dolphin. And then the other day, I was out swimming and this thing came up right next to me. And it was like a forehead that was brown and slicked back. And then these nostrils, and they snorted and blew out air. And I said, what is that? There's no face. And it scared me. And I ran away back towards the shore. And later somebody said, oh, that was a manatee that came to swim with you. A manatee came to swim with me, and I ran away because I was afraid, because I didn't understand. We fear the things we don't understand. And what God says to us is that we don't have to be afraid, because it's not our job to understand everything. Our job is to give thanks. Our job is to rejoice. Our job is to engage with life fully without judging who is doing the right thing or the wrong thing, who's our enemy, who's our friend. Our job is to rejoice and to see the light of heaven in each person, in each circumstance. Rejoice. Fear not. Thank you for joining me for Peaceful Pause Week 5. This is Dr. Caroline Peterson.